looking to have this extraordinary life, something has to happen to change so I don't revert back to where I was. Let's be clear. Many of us have not lived life like we have an extraordinary life. So let's go here. This is what I'm saying right here. This is where we are. Many of us have been content living a mediocre, average life. I'm just an average job, average height, average job. And so everything is average. At some point, we have to make the decision, I am determined to live an extraordinary life. That's a decision we have to make. Nobody can make that decision for us. As much as parents want something for their kids, the kids got to do it. We can give them all of the love and all the support and all the parameters, but they got to do it. And that's what God said, I have given you everything I need for you to have life and have it more abundantly. I just need you to embrace it and accept it and stand on it. Too many believers are okay with this mediocre life. If it has not worked out, we just give up and give less than our best. Everybody's had a job where something happened and we just started being on cruise control till another job came. Flower. Everybody had a job where on Monday they just a zombie, walking zombie, going through for the whole week instead of going back and saying, oh no, I cannot afford to give less than my best because I walk in exceptional excellence because God is in me. So I don't care what they're doing over there and what they're doing over there. I still walk in exceptional excellence. If nobody recognizes it, God still loves me and God sees it and God recognizes it. So I'm honoring God by walking in exceptional excellence. So here's the point. Many of us have been content in some areas. Let me say it another way. Are there areas of our lives right now that you think you're doing well, extraordinarily well? Somebody ain't ought to go. Are there, I don't know. So, are there areas in life where you think it's kind of mediocre? Yeah. All right. Well, we're talking, so this whole year, especially this month, we're going to talk about going from this mediocre, ordinary, to extraordinary. This is what we're talking about doing right here. This whole year is about this. That we're going to start going from ordinary to extraordinary. See, we've been living ordinary so long, we haven't even begun to embrace the fact that extraordinary is available. At this point, it's been ordinary, just going through the grind, and it looks like the same thing over and over again, and thought the break was going to come up, and then we can have a new attitude, and still ordinary. But some kind of way, at some point, we're talking about going from ordinary to extraordinary. How do we do that? Well, look right here. First of all, you got to know you are extraordinary. Say with me right now, I am extraordinary. I am. Y'all be kind of weak on me. Extraordinary. I am extraordinary. Now, here's the challenge. I know something right now. It was almost like somebody had the fingers on the chalkboard. It was hard for somebody to say to do it extraordinary because all we see ourselves as simply being ordinary. We see ourselves because of where we are, what we've done, what we've not done, what we should have done, what we wanted to do, as being ordinary. At some point, we got to make a decision to go from ordinary to extraordinary. And I am determined this year that as a church and as a congregation and members of Shalom Community Christian Church, we're going to go from being an ordinary church to an extraordinary church. We're going to be an ordinary folk to extraordinary folk, from ordinary Christian to extraordinary Christian. So now, if we're able to do that, what must happen to go from ordinary to extraordinary? Now look what happens. Now if y'all can see to read this with me. Extraordinary. The life you were meant to live. Hold on, look at that. Jesus died for us to live an extraordinary life. And it is an insult to the blood of Jesus to live an ordinary life. Somebody died for us to be able to vote. It's an insult to their blood if we don't vote. That's right. Somebody died so we can go to any school we wanted to go to. It's an insult to them if we don't go to school. Somebody died so we can have an opportunity, and if we don't take an opportunity, take advantage of that, it's an insult to them. So Jesus died so we can live an extraordinary life. And we've been on cruise control so long living an ordinary life, we don't even think about the fact that we should be and ought to be and were designed and created and chosen and called to live an extraordinary life. But look what happens here. So what's extraordinary mean? Let's look at this right here. Extraordinary, what's it mean? It means to be marvelous. Marvelous. Years ago, these young folks were going to think about it. There used to be this bald-headed guy on the Sprite commercial that says, marvelous. You look marvelous. You know, it is to be marvelous. But it's also watched right here to be surpassing. That here is mediocrity, and we always do above that. And in addition to that, it also means to be wonderful. So extraordinary. Now, I know you can say it extraordinary, that's fine. But I want to make sure we emphasize extraordinary. Extra, they're like tomato. I want extra, now extraordinary is not wrong, but extra, he is ordinary. I'm going to put some extra on it. He is natural, I'm going to put some super on it to get supernatural. So ordinary is here. Can't afford to remain. See, because somebody on our job who doesn't know the Lord doesn't need us to be ordinary. Somebody in our home doesn't need us to be ordinary. Some children need some extraordinary parents. Some members need some extraordinary pastors. The world needs some extraordinary Christians. So we can't afford to remain ordinary. It's about time to put the extra. Just like they can't afford to remain in the natural, we got to start walking in the supernatural. Not just ordinary, in the extraordinary. So what happens here then? So that has been said. Ordinary. Extraordinary. Means to be marvelous. To be wonderful. Surpassing. I love this next definition right here. Please write this down. I love this. It means separated by distinguishing action. What does that mean? Separated by distinguishing action. That this action was so amazing that all the folk could do was say that it had to be extraordinary. It wasn't average. It wasn't this mediocre. That it could. Let me give you an example of what happened. So this idea about extraordinary, separated by distinguished action. Let me make this clear for you. Last year sometime, my mom and sister flew over to Paris, and when they went over there, they were there, and they had, and I guess my sister must have gone and taken an extra long to be having their personal driver. Anyway, they got picked up from the airport, and they got picked up like on a Sunday. And my mom had a checkbook there that had all the, had checks and credit cards and everything, and they were in the back seat riding around. And she looked for the whole week for that checkbook, all week long. They got there like on a Sunday or a Monday. We're going to leave on a Friday. All week long, she just tearing everything up. Now, if anybody ever been in a taxi cab around here, in taxi, Uber or something? So now, what's the likelihood, unless you make an arrangement, that same one comes back? When they got ready to leave on Friday, the different driver, the exact same car showed up from Monday to Friday, and there her little billfold was right where she left it a couple days ago. That's what I'm talking about, something being extraordinary. And I'm talking about God is saying, I got some extraordinary things I'm doing in your life right now. And we have gotten so used to stuff that's being ordinary and going through the motion that we don't even expect the extraordinary. And I'm saying that God has said that this year is a year of great expectancy, of great magnitude for abundant living. So this idea of extraordinary. So now, say it with me again. I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. Now here's what I see. Y'all saying I am extraordinary. I need to have to be some boldness all along. One more time. I am extraordinary. All right, now, praise God. Now, y'all getting too happy now. So the idea was, now why is it? Now, I know whenever we start talking like that, there's something, do we say this and remain humble? Do we say it like that? Now, why are we extraordinary? Here's the reason. We ordinary people, but we serve an extraordinary God. Amen. So if I got an extraordinary God living in me, how dare I remain ordinary? If you got an extraordinary God living in you as a believer, how dare we remain ordinary? So the reason we are extraordinary is because we were ordinary people who now trust and believe in an extraordinary God, and now we remain confident of this, that we're going to see the goodness of the Lord and trust God and believe God and rely on God. So we are extraordinary and extraordinary because we believe in, we serve, we have accepted an extraordinary God. So now the extra is now available because an extraordinary God lives inside of us. Now we ought to be able to say this more confidently right here. Now, I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. Every believer ought to be able to make that declaration. And we ought to go back and tell folk we know who are believers that who are not here today because it's too cold, that at this point you are extraordinary. Now, and sometimes you're going to have to talk to yourself. David, when stuff was going over in 1 Samuel chapter 30, and the folk talked about stoning him, David had to encourage himself. So I'm saying, son, you can't wait for everybody to be pumping you up. Sometimes you got to find a mirror and get something, do something, and you may have to get in the mirror and look all toe up from the floor up, but then say, no, you are extraordinary. I don't feel like it right now. I don't look like it right now. I sure look a toe up right now, but you are still extraordinary. And after a while, when we start saying it, we're going to see it. So I know it's asking a lot for one message to make us think we extraordinary. I know it's a lot. That's why we have 52 weeks. Now again, 100, and then on Tuesday we have 104 times. But by the time we leave this year, we leave here with an understanding that we are extraordinary. We've been ordinary and used to being ordinary in so many areas for so long. It's hard to embrace the fact that we are extraordinary. Students been making C's so long. Surprised when an A comes. Instead of saying, no, A would be the norm because I'm extraordinary. Yes. Getting a job that on paper I wouldn't qualify for is the norm because I'm extraordinary. That getting a parking space right in the front in the midst of a busy parking lot is the norm because I'm extraordinary. That I walk in favor, that I walk in God's love, I walk in His mercy, I walk in His abundance. So it's a matter of saying I'm going to embrace the fact that I'm extraordinary. So again with me, I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. One more time, I am extraordinary. Now be clear about it. There will be times before we see each other this time next week that somebody will have an experience that will challenge our extraordinariness. That's probably why I made it up. That is, that will challenge the fact that we are extraordinary. Because we're going to respond in a way, not ordinary, not extraordinary. We're going to think about some things that are not extraordinary but ordinary. We're living in a way that may be ordinary and not extraordinary. And I'm just offering them, as we plant this seed all year long, we have planted this seed today. And we're going to water this seed all year long. And the sun's going to shine on this seed all year long. And by the time we get well before the end of this year, we're going to see some sprouts coming up or some extraordinary believers up in this house that will go back and transform this community. So wherever you are, that whenever you show up, however ordinary it is, when you show up, extraordinary shows up instead. Again, I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. One more time, I am extraordinary. Now, here's what I want us to talk about now. So we had this confession today. This is our confession specifically for the month of January. Let's just say this one time. We already did it 3 times already. Say it with me. I operate in a spirit of exceptional excellence. Because the sermon title for this whole month is Evidence of Excellence. There ought to be some evidence of it. The only way you can tell if something is excellent is by seeing evidence. That's the only demonstration of it. The only way you can see that can say this is excellent is that there's some kind of way there's been a demonstration where we have seen, experienced, touched, felt that it's excellent. But here is, now, so are you clear? This is our mantra or our confession just for this month. Every month this year, we're going to have a different saying like this that corresponds to that particular month. So all this month, this is what we're going to be saying. But all year long, we have a confession that we're going to be making all year long, in which this simply is a tagline per month. Are you with me? So I'm about to give us now. So this one is just going to be for January. For February, we have another. I already have that in place, but we don't want too much on one day. But the idea, but now this is for the month of January. This is what we're going to say. But there's one that we're going to say every day that I'll give to you later. You don't have to worry about it. Don't write it down. That we're going to say every day that's going to help us to now accept the fact that we are extraordinary. Are you with me on that? This one is just for when? Just for January.